This is the Installer Guy kicking it with news, and today's episode 6 is not going to be about news. It's time for a little bit of a story. I have episodes in which I will dive off to the left for a quick second to talk about a story. It's a fictional story, so all the characters aren't real, but this is one of the stories, and it begins like this. First off, this episode was brought to you by Joagashi Motors. You need a fancy car, not a jalopy? Grab a phone and call Joagashi. Now, in a remote town called Spandersnatch, with a population of about 10,000 people, lived a man named Gerrymandering. He lived alone. The town of Spandersnatch was a slow-paced town with winding roads that surrounded the town and hills that peaked just under the horizon. Jerry had a knack for fixing electronics and did freelance repair jobs throughout the town. He wanted to one day carve his niche in society and be something he could be proud of on a global scale, not just his town. He had ideas that would improve the world when it came to technology. One day, while grocery shopping, he saw a man in the store passing out flyers for the local cable company called TRCC, which stood for The Real Cable Company. Suddenly, Jerry had an epiphany. He was inspired. He thought to himself, I can get my ideas off the ground by getting a job with this cable company. I'm sure they have an area in the company that has an innovations department or something about ideas that are destined to broadcast globally. If I can just get my foot in the door, I can get the ball rolling. So Jerry walked up to the guy passing out the flyers and noticed he had a name tag on with the name Jimmy. So he decided to speak with him candidly. Jerry approached the man and said, Say, Jimmy. Hi, sir. How can I help you? Are you interested in getting cable? It's really affordable. I have a flyer here that talks about all our great deals. No. I already have your cable. I was wondering, are you guys hiring? I really want to work for you guys, and it's right up my alley. I haven't seen any postings, however. I don't know. I'm just here to pass out these flyers. Looking at me with a glazed look, you know, one of those looks like he's either trying to have some sort of moment with you or there's nothing between those two ears. Well, you can at least give me your name, give me a name of someone in the hiring department I could talk to, or you can put a word in for me. As I finished speaking, I thought to myself, man, I sound desperate. I hope he can see past that. You know what? If you have a resume, maybe I can give it to my boss and I can tell him that I met someone that was really interested. But I can't make any promises. I'm the lowest on the totem pole. Jerry thought to himself, why is he laughing about being the lowest on the totem pole? I guess he's either happy about doing this job and he's satisfied, or he's just a village idiot. I'll be right back. It was only a few blocks away, so I raced home on foot and grabbed one of my resumes on my desk and raced back. 10 minutes had passed. When I got back, I didn't see him in the store. I was furious. I just saw him in the store 10 minutes ago and told him I'd be right back. As I walked out of the store angrily, I saw Jimmy to the far right of me sitting on the bench outside eating. I breathed a sigh of relief. Whew. Evidently, Jimmy must be taking a break. Jimmy saw Clifford and reached out to grab the resume. However, as he outstretched his arms, I noticed his hands were all greasy from eating whatever he sloppily ate. I decided to give him the folder also to preserve my resume inside so that his gooey fingers weren't all over my resume. He can muck up the folder. I don't care. I handed him the folder and said, the resume's in the folder. Just give them the whole thing. Do you have a business card or something? I do. He pointed his ratty folder and told me to sift through the flyers, and there should be some cards in there at the bottom. And if by some slim chance you get hired, can you tell them I referred you? Because for each person that gets hired, I can get $1,000, provided you stay more than 90 days. But that hasn't happened yet with anyone I referred. In my head, I responded, I can only imagine why. But my actual response was, no problem. As I left, I felt like skipping home, like I just got out of school for the summer. I forgot all about going shopping and decided to do that tomorrow. I decided to look up the company and learn all about the organization. Evidently, this company has been around since 1910, taking on different company names, but keeping the same owners' last names. I'm assuming it's a family business, and they are rebranding themselves to be more profitable. 7 days had passed, and no calls or messages were left on my phone. I decided to call the business card Jimmy gave me, and the number on the card was disconnected. I visited the store every day for the next few days around the same time, hoping I would see Jimmy again. I was at my wit's end. Was this guy really working for TRCC and I just gave him my resume? Was I just scammed? I sat home thinking, what do I do now? As I got up to head to the store and really go grocery shopping this time, a tall, white, thin man was at my door getting ready to knock as I was leaving out. He had thin wire glasses on and his hair was slicked back and he had a gray suit on. May I help you? Hi, I'm looking for Jerry Clifford Mandarin. I was hesitant to answer because no one ever says my full name, so I didn't know if this was a process server because I owed some money on credit cards, a cop because I had been downloading illegal movies, or a dad coming to hurt me for sleeping with his daughter, and I'm not the father if she was pregnant. But from the looks of him, I think I could take him, so I responded with a confident, deep voice to seem intimidating. That's me. Well, I'm Val Johnson, a recruiter for TRCC, and I would like to interview you for a potential job. Your resume spoke to me, and I was told by Jimmy you really wanted to work for us. So I'm here to see if that's doable. First off, in the back of my mind, I was wondering, why didn't he call me or email me? Isn't it common courtesy to do one of those options? So I spoke up and said, I kind of have a busy schedule. You should have called or emailed me, and I would have scheduled something in advance. I'm so sorry, but we are in desperate need to fill a cable technician slot like yesterday because 2 technicians that work in this area of the city quit, and we need to fill these positions quickly. Well, how about this? I'll meet you downstairs in the lobby, and we can do the interview there. Mr. Val Johnson goes down to the lobby. I walked back into the apartment and I thought to myself, okay, you got them by the balls. They want you. They went great lengths to reach me, so don't be nervous and make sure this interview is a stellar performance. Ironic, however, I went from being desperate to want a job with this company to them desperately needing me. This is a win-win situation, and if I play my cards right, I will get exactly what I want. Do I wear the clothes that I'm wearing, or do I need to switch up and wear something fancy to compliment Mr. Val Johnson? This concludes episode 1 of Storytime with the Installer Guy. Stay tuned next time for episode 2 of Storytime with the Installer Guy. The preceding episode was brought to you by Joe Agashi Motors. Car broken down? You need someplace to go? Reach for a phone and call Joe Agashi Motors. We'll put you in a fancy car with no fancy price. Remember, people, you rule the technology. Don't let the technology rule you.